I'm thankful for a lot of opportunities. And we'll see what happens.
Less than a day after getting choked up talking about his future with UVA, football head coach Mike London is out. We have team coverage and reaction from Cavalier players and fans. Plus, researchers are polling the public in Charlottesville for permission to study people having seizures without their consent. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Matt Tallhelm. Your news at 6 starts right now.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team. This is NBC 29 HD News at 6.
First tonight at 6, traffic is moving along on Interstate 64 heading up Afton Mountain. You're looking live at our Union Bank and Trust traffic camera, mile marker 104 there in Albemarle County. You can still see fog continues to create some hazardous driving conditions on the mountain tonight. This is just hours after a chain reaction crash shut down the entire westbound side of that interstate. That accident snarled traffic for several hours this afternoon on this busy Sunday holiday travel day. The chain reaction crash brought westbound Interstate 64 to a standstill just before noon. State police tell NBC 29 12 vehicles collided near mile marker 99. That's on Afton Mountain. The cause of the accident is still under investigation, but as you can see there, drivers had to deal with that dense fog. It was a mess up there. I know commuting from Waynesboro to Charlottesville was like that the whole way. There is no word right now on any injuries in this crash. The pileup backed up westbound traffic there for nearly 13 miles. Now to tonight's other big story. University of Virginia head football coach Mike London is out. The university announced London's resignation following a meeting this morning with athletics director Craig Littlepage. NBC 29 sports anchor Mike Shires begins our team coverage tonight. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Matt. Mike London has resigned after 6 seasons as the head coach of the UVA football team. The Cavaliers finished with a record of 4-8 this season, and they have posted a losing record in 4 consecutive seasons. London had 1 year remaining on his contract, and the university will pay him approximately $2.7 million through 2016. London was the ACC Coach of the Year in 2011. He met with his players this morning following the meeting with athletic director Craig Littlepage, where they decided a change in leadership was in the best interest of the program. In a press release from UVA today, London said, quote, "I appreciate the opportunity to have been the head coach at the University of Virginia." On the subject of finding a new head coach, Littlepage said, quote, "We expect our football program to compete for a Coastal Division title on an annual basis, which puts us in a position to win the ACC championship and be competitive nationally." There is no timetable on hiring a new head coach, as many prospective candidates are still coaching the postseason. We will have reaction from the UVA players coming up later in sports.
Okay, Mike Shires, thank you. We'll see you a little bit later. UVA football fans and students are reacting to London's resignation tonight. The overwhelming response from fans we talked to in the UVA corner today is they were not surprised that London will no longer be head coach. Some were surprised he resigned before the university fired him. Most fans tell us they are looking forward to the football team going in a new winning direction.
I personally am very happy. Mike London was a good man. He's a good coach in terms of recruiting. However, I do feel that UVA football needed a change. He's been here since my sister went to school, hasn't got the results we needed, so I think it's good to see a change in Charlottesville with the coach.
I think, to me, it seems like he saw kind of the handwriting on the wall. Being a head coach, your job is all wins and losses.
UVA third-year Andrew Hoskins, who you heard from there, says the Virginia Tech game was the last straw, at least for him. In his mind, he believes that game has the biggest impact on recruiting Virginia high school football players to come to UVA. Social media, of course, blew up with reaction to London's resignation. Cavalier senior wide receiver Kanan Severin said, "Coach London, thank you for giving me the opportunity to attend UVA. You have helped me grow into the man that I am today." Former UVA player and now Cleveland Browns wide receiver Darius Jennings tweeted that he was a great man. He gave me the platform to get where I am today. Thank you. Graduate assistant football coach Brian Wetzel treated this. Words cannot describe the respect I have for Coach Mike London. He is a true role model and leader of men. He said, "Thank you for everything, Coach." Now, on the other hand, this one Cavalier fan posted something a little bit different, saying 6 years of pitiful, awful football comes to an end at UVA. Good riddance, Mike London. NBC 29 Sports Director Marty Hutloff now is continuing our team coverage with an in-depth look back at London's 6 seasons at UVA.
Mike London walked off the field at Scott Stadium Saturday for the final time. He's out after 5 losing seasons during his 6 years as Virginia head coach. Mike London had a record of 27-46 during his 6 seasons at Virginia. His record in ACC games, 14-34. London replaced Al Groh in 2010. After a 1-7 ACC record his first season, London led Virginia to a remarkable turnaround in 2011. Virginia, led by Michael Rocco at quarterback, finished the regular season with a record of 8-4 before losing to Auburn in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. During that season, Virginia won at Florida State for the first time ever. The Hoos also became the first team ever to beat the Seminoles in Tallahassee and win at Miami in the same season. London was named the ACC Coach of the Year. The following season, the Hoos finished 4-8, capped off by a 9th straight loss to Virginia Tech. In 2013, Virginia won its season opener against BYU, but then lost 10 of its next 11, finishing with a record of 2-10.
Many Cavalier fans wanted London out then, but Virginia kept him, perhaps because London had a stellar recruiting class coming in, highlighted by 5-star recruits Quinn Blanding and Andrew Brown.
Brown wasn't an impact player as a freshman, and Virginia finished with a record of 5-7. During the 3 losing seasons, Virginia didn't get good play at the quarterback position. David Watford didn't pan out. Highly touted Philip Sims was a bust, and Grayson Lambert stumbled before eventually transferring. London began this season on the hot seat. After a 56-14 blowout loss at home to Boise State, the seat got hotter. Attendance at Scott Stadium dwindled. Only 32,000 plus showed up for a game against Georgia Tech. It was Virginia's smallest home crowd in 27 years. And the Hoos haven't won a road game in over 3 years, losing 15 straight. The Hoos finished their 4th straight losing season Saturday with another loss to the Hokies, Virginia's 12th straight to its in-state rival.
That was Marty Hutloff. Of course, count on NBC 29 for continuing coverage of Mike London's resignation and the search for a new coach. We've posted statements from London and the university's athletics director at NBC29.com. You can also take a look at his coaching record that you just heard from Marty. And sports anchor Mike Shires will be back at 6:21 with more reaction from the team. Researchers at the University of Virginia are now gauging the community's support for a study of patients who have a condition that causes prolonged epileptic seizures. NBC 29's Spencer Burke is live in our Charlottesville newsroom to explain this. Spencer.
Good evening, Matt. Well, usually no data can be collected from people receiving treatment without their prior consent. But because patients receiving this treatment or patients suffering from this condition cannot provide consent during a seizure, the FDA has allowed for a special set of rules. UVA Professor of Emergency Medicine and Neurology Dr. John Stephen Huff and Senior Clinical Research Coordinator Leah Becker led a discussion Sunday at Peace Lutheran Church in Albemarle County. They want to see what the community thinks about conducting research on patients with status epilepticus, which causes recurrent seizures lasting longer than 5 minutes. The study is called ESET, which stands for Established Status Epilepticus Treatment Trial.
Hopefully the community will be all right with opening this study so that we can provide better care to our future patients while still providing the best care to the current patients.
The FDA has created a special set of rules called Exception from Informed Consent. It allows studies to be done in emergency situations when a patient is not in a condition to consent.
The whole point of this is to be respectful of patients' autonomy and patients' wishes.
But before researchers can conduct the study, they need to collect enough feedback from the community.
We're not recruiting people for the study. Usually you hear about a study going on, we're looking for patients, we're recruiting. This is a community outreach program and to see what the level of interest in the community is, to see if there's concerns in the community.
Doctors at the UVA Medical Center would treat patients in the study with 3 commonly used medications to find out which one is safer and more effective.
The dose has been carefully calculated by the expert committee at what we think is adequate and optimum dosing.
Community members will fill out surveys that will eventually be approved by an FDA review board, and researchers say that this process of collecting community input could take anywhere from 3 to 4 months.
Okay, Spencer Burke live in our Charlottesville newsroom tonight. Thank you, Spencer. The Thomas Jefferson Health District will offer free flu shots tomorrow. It's a way to test its readiness for a major health emergency. The flu shot clinic will help the health district staff prepare for a large-scale public health crisis when many people would need a vaccine in a short period of time. The flu shot will be free to anyone 3 years old and up. That clinic runs from 2 to 6 tomorrow afternoon at the Charlottesville-Albemarle Health Department on Rose Hill Drive. Thomas Jefferson's Monticello welcomed visitors for free tours today. It's all part of the 3rd annual holiday open house. Mr. Jefferson himself greeted visitors as they walked into the president's home. The house is decked out for the holidays. Caretakers say the Christmas decor is a style that Jefferson himself would have approved.
Opening his house for everyone, particularly at this season of the year, for an expression of goodwill and recognition of the family of man.
Monticello will host a special evening tour starting December 11th. Visitors will get to see how people celebrated the holidays during Jefferson's time. Tickets are $55 and available online. 'Tis the season to pick out that perfect Christmas tree. We will tell you where to buy that Tannenbaum to benefit a Central Virginia service organization.
And we've tracked a cold front that has moved through, folks, bringing us back to reality with these temperatures. A raw start to the week ahead and several days of rain chances. I'll let you know how much total rain we could be seeing coming up.